This is a HeadGum podcast.
Bare necessities, those simple bare necessities. Don't forget about your worries and your strife. Bare necessities, those simple bare necessities. Bare necessities of life. Wherever I wander, wherever I go, wherever I go. That honey in the tree. Well, it's for me. Are you making this up? When you pick up paw with a bear claw. No, stop it. Stop it. All right, I'm sorry. Failed this so much. All right, let's try.
It was pretty good. The spirit was
right. All right, wait. Let's try one. Let's try another one.
Oh, wait.
You gonna do another song?
Yeah.
Let's try another one.
Oh, snap. Okay, hold on.
I got the backup.
All right.
I'm curious what song you're gonna do.
I got the. What you mean? What song?
I mean, I know it's one and two.
Here we go.
That's true.
Give me the secret of man's red flower. But I don't know how to make fire.
Why are you doing the interlude before? Why are you doing all so?
I was like,
Why are you doing the
how am I
interlude?
joining in on this?
Right for the beat.
Do you want a second? You want to take a minute real quick?
No, now you guys start. That's not the start of it, is it?
But you sing it though. 'Cause there's not the background singers.
All right,
It's you. Well, in this movie, there's no backup.
There's no back.
It was too intense for the first song.
Wait, how does it go?
It starts off. I want to be like you.
Ooh,
with you.
I want to
Be like you. I want to talk like you. Talk like you.
You see, it's true.
Someone like a beer.
Are you singing it like Christopher Walken?
Get learn to be.
Can I say? I know we're not talking about the
Christopher
movie right
Walken?
now, but that was the one thing I was ready for it to be super jazzy and like super like I wanted it to be like a big band.
And it was
and then it was just Christopher Walken being mad cool.
Hey man, Braylock's doing a Christopher Walken impression right
He
now.
was.
I kind of want to hear the end of
good.
this.
Let's do it.
I want to hear the end of this. Is that it? That's all you
The weep.
You need to say, all right, James, you gonna break
I
us in.
want to be like you. Ooh. I want to walk like you. Talk like you.
Oh my God, this is.
I want to say it's true.
Yeah, it was recognizable.
Thank you so much.
That's the best compliment you could give an impression.
Wow.
Hey,
All right.
That was an impression.
That was an impression. That was an impression. Let's start the show.
Jonathan Braylock, James III, Jerah Milligan.
What more can I say? You know what it is.
Black men can't jump.
In Hollywood.
Black actors, man. Black actors. All right.
Welcome to Black Men Can't Jump in Hollywood.
Hollywood City. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I like that.
I normally do, Sunita, so that you can know. I normally do the gunshot sound.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that
Why did you
on
do
an
it?
episode.
But I want to give an example. I want
You stole your
I normally do
thunder.
that, but for this one, I wanted to do the what we were all waiting for in the Jungle Book movie.
Right.
Oh.
The background.
So, all right, I'm going to introduce our names now. All right.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So, it's Jonathan Braylock.
James III.
Walk like you. Talk like you.
Screaming into my mic.
It is loud. I mean, I guess I wasn't.
This is Jerah Milligan.
And we have a special
Hold on.
guest.
Let me do drums. Hold on,
Very
wait,
special
wait,
guest.
wait.
Wow, I feel special.
How do you feel about those drums? She literally
Are you
she
doing
literally
like
was
a
like,
snare
what is he?
It was a snare drum.
Like I got it.
Okay.
He was doing a
all right.
visual.
Literally
just-
episode like
Listen.
45.
Listen,
And like you have not gotten
we
better.
have a great, hilarious, amazing. She's a part of Cocoon Central Dance Team.
Hey.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
You've seen her in the Turn Down for What music video.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah.
And she's currently on the hit show Mr. Robot.
Oh, I saw the trailer for season 2.
Season 2 coming out.
Guys, I haven't seen it yet.
It came out today.
I heard it's dope. I heard it's dope.
Sunita Mani?
Yeah.
Boom. There it is.
got it.
Sunita Mani.
Boom, boom, boom.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Okay, everyone's clapping at home. We'll wait for them to
Yeah.
stop. Great. And we're reviewing The Jungle Book.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
the live action version
Yes.
of the Jungle
The
Book.
2016 Disney live action.
Yeah,
version.
because this is the
It's technically the second live action.
But this one is also.
That's right.
Was that one?
Do you remember who played him?
animals?
Do you remember who
No.
played him?
They were
The guy
real
who played
animals.
Bruce Lee in Dragon, the Bruce Lee story, played Mowgli in the Jungle Book.
Right.
And I'm like,
Was it
hold
a
on,
kid
wait
or an
second.
adult?
Yeah.
An adult played a
It was an
child?
adult. It was, well, he
because
wasn't
he
an
He was an adult.
He grew up. He grew up
immediately. It was a totally different movie, right?
it was
he grew
basically
up
like
immediately.
It was basically like Tarzan, except for it was
Jungle Book.
Jungle Book.
Right.
It came out in 1994.
They had real animals though, which I'm like,
Yeah,
hey,
and they
bro.
they used real animals.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Hey, bro,
So,
what
like,
you doing
And
with
the
them
animals
tigers?
didn't talk. The animals didn't talk.
But I'm saying like that's live action. Like this movie.
That's actually the live
Yeah,
action.
this movie is
Dude,
not.
but it looks so
necessarily-
beautiful.
Yeah,
Like,
actually,
you
this
can't
movie
even
is
tell.
very animated.
It looked great.
And
I thought
the
it looked
animals
beautiful. What those
were
animals?
so realistic.
Who was not scared of Idris Elba?
Yo,
Shere Khan was real.
Shere
So
Khan.
real.
I was ready for
Okay.
him to. Oh,
So, just so you guys know, what is it on Rotten Tomatoes?
It is at currently 95% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Currently at 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I think it's made like $828 million
it will make $1 billion
worldwide,
soon.
and it's still in theaters, still doing well.
That's impressive.
It's
Huge
it's
numbers.
huge.
The numbers are huge.
Huge number.
Hey Disney, good
They're
job.
huge.
It looks incredible.
And oh my god, the animation is revolutionary. I feel like
Yeah.
yeah.
it's
It's fantastic.
it's out of this world, and it
So
stars
realistic.
Neel Sethi, I believe. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Sethi.
Yeah.
He's great.
That's how I would
He
say it.
just
He's
auditioned. He got it.
great.
He was talking about how like he
Neel.
was so nervous. It's like
Oh, you
no,
watched
just-
the interview.
He thought, yeah, his interview was so cute, and it was just like he was just so genuinely happy to be there. And I was like, yeah, man.
Is he an Indian American kid?
Yes.
Yes.
He's born here.
There's one thing I do find interesting, not to jump ahead, but like for instance, this movie.
He was
is
born in
out-
He was born in New York City.
Yeah, he's an American. Straight
Guess
up.
what? He was
Yeah.
born in 2003.
Oh
Wow.
my goodness.
Well, I mean,
Why'd
he's
you
a
throw that
little
out?
I mean, he's a little boy,
so-
but it's just
Yeah.
like you're like, oh right, there's
people were
there
born
are
in
live
2000.
talking,
Yeah.
walking, processing human beings who like were born after 9/11.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there are
Whoa.
people who are listening to this who are like, I was
Yeah,
actually
me.
born.
That's me.
You're, like, you're
That's
talking
me.
about me.
Black men can't
So
jump.
this is weird. Then now it's weird that you're just reveling in this idea that
The-
yet another time that we're showing our age.
But like the
First off,
turn of the century was huge. Like Y2K,
Right.
we made it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We didn't even
We
know we
made
were
it.
gonna
I know.
I don't
be
know what
here.
y'all talking
Right.
about. I was born in 1995.
all right.
I don't understand what you're talking
That
about.
means,
That's still.
that means I'm not.
We were talking about people who
I
were born
know.
after 9/11.
I know, but he said showing our age, and I was like, well, you know, y'all
That's
talking
still
about
showing your age.
So just
it's
because
like,
you
nah.
lied about being
We're
born
just
in
older.
1995,
It's like, why y'all killing my joy right now?
it was a weird thing to be joyful.
So
about.
now
Youth is pride.
The Jungle, like we said, this is the third iteration of the movie. The first one was the Disney version, animated, cartoon, like hand-drawn animation. I believe.
Yeah.
Yep.
1967.
Yes.
Which is funny.
good year.
People should take note is that the Disney versions aren't like the book. The book is a little bit
Oh, I
darker.
believe that, but I haven't read it. Has anybody here read the book?
I
Not since I was a
haven't.
kid.
I like have it
Oh, but you
at home.
I had only because as a kid I did, and then
Jerah
also
has.
they have oh my god, what is his name?
Bagheera?
Andy Serkis. His version of Jungle Book that comes out I think next year will be based off
So
of
they
the book
So they pushed
Oh.
that back.
as they should.
There's
have.
another movie coming
There's
out.
another
So
one.
there was supposed to be another one coming out
Wow.
next year, but they've pushed it back to 2018 because
Oh,
this one's
wow.
doing so well.
It's
And
on
they're
fire.
like, all right, we got to push this back.
Oh, but
This
is
was-
it? Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
All right, yeah, let's do initial thoughts.
go ahead.
No.
Well, you
We're gonna do initial thoughts.
Tell them what the movie is though.
Sorry. Okay, yes, I was talking about the backstory, but basically, I mean, if you're living under a rock,
You know the Jungle Book.
the Jungle Book. It's the story of this kid. His name is Mowgli. When he was a baby, his parents died, and I don't know if it's always just his father or if it's.
It was always in Disney.
I
which
feel
is so
like the
interesting-
live action '94 version. It was actually like it was like a train of people.
Yeah.
And then the tiger came and just messed everything up, and he got lost.
Yeah. But in Disney movies, they never have moms. Does anyone? I mean, like back in the day, did anyone ever notice that? Like Bambi, like The mom's never.
Oh, it's always an orphan.
Always an orphan.
Always a lost woman.
Yeah, it's like
no, but like every character is an
princess,
orphan,
you know?
like,
all the time.
Always.
But Shere Khan
Think
kills
about
the
it.
dad.
Lion King, orphaned.
Yeah.
Yep.
Aladdin, orphan. They're always
So
orphans.
pulling at your heartstrings.
Yeah, right.
Oh man.
Except for, but Little Mermaid, you're right. She didn't have a mom.
she didn't have a mom. She had a dad.
but she had a dad.
That's true.
Interesting. Snow White.
Bambi
Didn't have a mom. Had a. I'm not Snow
Don't-
White. I meant
Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping.
Just-
No.
Snow White. Snow White.
No,
You're
wait.
right.
Was
Snow White had a
Snow
stepmom, but she didn't.
Yeah,
So I-
hey,
yeah,
she had a
like
stepmom.
paternal figures and then evil women.
Right.
Yes, and it's evil.
Cinderella, stepmom.
Yep.
You're
And
right.
even you go back to Little
Wait a
Mermaid,
minute,
Ursula is
Ursula.
evil.
What are we trying to say here?
Is it?
I was
but
going to
is
say,
it-
Belle.
Beauty and the
Beast.
Beast.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
She had her dad. No mom.
Yep.
What's up with that?
Oh, I remember her.
What's
dad.
up with that Disney?
He's kind of
Wait, can we
goof.
break this down before we start talking about the Jungle Book?
I mean,
Disney has
but is
gotten
this
better,
connected
though.
to the?
Wait, but what is that though?
Is this connected
What
to
are they
the
trying to
Jungle
say
Book?
with all that stuff?
It's
Well, they
like-
got them from the Grimm stories back in the day. So in the Grimm stories,
Why does
they
the
never
mom
had-
always die?
I wonder. I don't know about mom always being dead or not there, but like the innocence lost.
Yeah, it
that's
is
so
innocence
much like
lost.
a theme, and it's like tied to your like sexual innocence.
Right, that's true.
And I feel like that has a lot to do
also,
with like a.
I think the reason it was always the moms when there is a parent figure there, it's the mom and not the dad. Though, wait a minute, Lion King, his dad dies, his mom is still alive.
Right. But his
Oh,
dad
yes.
dies and he
True.
runs away.
But
So like,
I think that's
his
right. He
mom-
runs away.
so he's, like,
I think
not
the
with his
reason.
mom.
I think the reason maybe is because since mothers were thought of as the caring and like nurturing, and dads like
Figure.
especially like Bambi. I remember like the dad is like there, but he's always like off to the side, and Bambi's like scared of his father.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like there's no he has to like grow up without basically a parent because the father's kind of like. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like,
Wait, even in Aladdin, Jasmine only had the Sultan. She didn't even have a mom.
You're
That's
right.
so true.
Jasmine didn't even have a mom.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
never questioned it.
I never
like
questioned
never.
it. Never put that. Well, we were kids. How
Yeah,
could
we never did. We just wanted to hear the songs.
I wonder. Anyway,
That's all we cared about. I just want to get
anyway,
to the
sorry.
songs.
So back to the
So
Jungle
true.
Book.
Back to Jungle Book.
True.
Back to Jungle
Yeah,
Book.
so the Jungle Book, the 1967 version had a lot of great songs. Yeah, it was the kid. He's orphaned, and then wolves raise him. Like, what's
Bagheera
Bagheera's the Black Panther. Finds him, gives him to the wolves. Wolves raise him, and then when he's like a kid, a tiger's like, yo, this child's got to go.
Because he turns
And then
into a
that's
man, and man is bad.
and man is bad.
Man
Man,
is
is
bad.
forbidden.
In the jungle.
Because
in the
man
jungle.
burns down.
Because a man cub
So-
turns into a man.
In the book, is he grows up to be a man in the jungle?
He
Because
does-
in the story, in the movie,
In the
this
Jungle
latest
Book, the
Jungle
Disney
Book,
versions,
yeah, he's still like
he's
a
still a
kid
kid.
I
through and
honestly
through.
don't remember at all.
In the 94 live action,
he
one,
grows up.
He
He
does
does grow
grow
up. And he
Yeah.
comes back. I don't remember at all. I remember Shere Khan like, yo.
So sorry
Yeah.
for the book fans who are like, you can tweet at us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us. Because
You're lame for not knowing.
But now we've laid the groundwork.
Yeah.
Your initial thoughts of the movie. Sunita, you want to start?
Well, that was like one of my biggest initial thoughts. What a heavy story for a 10-year-old. Like I was just so surprised at the nature of like the responsibility that this kid had
Yeah,
took upon himself. And I didn't think like, songs aren't appropriate in this movie. It's not like everything is so like manipulative or like cutthroat or just like it was so impending. Like
Right.
doom was so
Yeah,
impending.
so much impending, dude.
Thought it would be really scary if I were younger.
It was
It was intense.
Death
It
count
was
was up
really
in this movie. You
intense.
think about it.
Yeah.
Also, I like wish the tiger is a villain. Sure, Shere Khan was such a like bad guy, but I was like, he died in a
Right.
fire. Like
Wait,
the
And
I
you
know.
saw him like you saw like a little mini
Spoiler, but
explosion.
for real.
spoiler.
No,
that
honestly-
was too dark. That was like too much for me.
We gotta
No.
talk. Wait, no, I'm with you on
No.
this. I'm with you on this
Shere Khan
because
had
there
it
was a
coming.
part. He kind of had it coming, but there was a part of me that was like, but he was right though.
Yeah,
was.
he was
like
literally
maybe he didn't
burned.
deserve it.
But I was just like,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, he's mean, and he killed his dad, but like,
But wait, no,
But he
no.
was right.
Why?
He was
Why do you
gonna
think he
kill
was
him.
right?
He was
Why do you think he was
because
right?
he said, man brings destruction, and what the heck? What happened? The freaking kid lit the whole damn forest on fire.
But
That is true.
But here are the things about that.
All right, all right. These are your initial.
These
thoughts.
are my initial thoughts, but I'm starting with a response to you guys.
Okay.
Is Mowgli didn't know. It was not intentional. And then when he realized what he did, he abandoned the red flower, right? He was like, "Oh, I don't want this red flower." And then being one of the few people who actually just was like, "I'm going to straight up talk to this elephant." He was able to. He fixed his wrong faster than like. I don't think that Shere Khan was right because I think that they set up that Shere Khan was like crazy. That like
they said like
he was so
killed
cruel.
for fun.
He was so cruel.
He marched to beat his own drum. So I just wanted to say that in response.
It's true.
To this,
it's true.
Right?
Yeah.
Now here's the other thing though. I'm gonna say his name. It's gonna be wrong, but Neel Sethi. Sethi.
I don't know.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I'm saying it wrong.
Sunita Mani.
Oh, wow. I completely messed it up.
Her name is Sunita. Why are you saying Neel?
Wow. He was so good. There was a
Also,
point.
for those people who don't know, he is the only
He's the only human being
in like
in
pretty
the-
much the entire.
in the
Yeah,
whole-
there's like a flashback with the father,
With the
right?
father.
Right, but
And you
he's
see
not
some people
acting.
in
I don't think you even see his face.
He's only
right?
interacting
it's like a
with
shadow.
He's
Yeah.
only interacting with, as far as we know, like green screen,
Puppets
and like
or-
tennis balls.
people feeding him.
That's
lines.
it.
Yeah, and
And-
maybe the occasional actor in like a suit or
Right.
something.
Yeah.
There are, but even that, there was this point in the middle of the movie. I stopped taking notes because I was like, I don't know what I'm noting on. But I just leaned over to my girlfriend and I go, this kid is crushing. Like he's so good. And so like my biggest takeaway from this movie is just like how talented he is.
Yeah.
Just
So comfortable and like it's just like in that role of having to like do such intense stuff. Like,
So for
really
me,
physical.
like the two biggest things I took away from this movie was one, like, wow, we have CGI capabilities that are out of this world because there were moments where I was like, that's a real tiger. Like, when there was like this, there was this incredible moment where Shere Khan was walking up to, what was the main wolf's name again?
Wait, the dad or the
Akela?
mom? The dad or the mom?
dad.
Akila's the mom. The dad. The dad is Gus. The dad is Gus from walking.
There's no way.
Oh, the dad was
it's
like,
Juan Carlos Esposito.
Yeah,
Right.
what's the dad?
But his
You said
name.
the dad is Gus.
Gus.
I know from
Breaking Bad.
And they do say his name multiple times.
no, it's Akila. And
Akila.
Raksha is the mom, I
You're
think.
right.
Akila.
No, you're right. Raksha is the mom.
So when Shere Khan walks up to Akila and you're like, oh, what's about to happen? And then he just like does this like plop down. It was just
And
so like
the flies like on
and then
the ear,
flies,
and then
like,
they're like twitch.
his ear twitches, and I was just like, what? And then there was also a moment where Mowgli is like on Baloo's back, or sorry, on his stomach when they're, and I was just like, and he's like splashing water at him, and I was just like, this is seamless, like,
yeah.
And so, and then on top of that, Neel, like we're saying, children actors are usually. It's hard sometimes. Like sometimes you're like,
sometimes
that kid
you
is
see
good.
them acting.
That kid is good, but I can see like somebody like fed him the line, or he memorized his lines, and they're like, you have to look this way and feel this way, you know. And it's just
Jonathan, were you a child
like,
actor?
Listen,
Wow.
It's just like coming from. It sounds like it's.
I'm just
coming
saying,
from,
like, I don't understand why I wasn't in The Sixth Sense. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. You know, my boy Haley is good, but like, what about me? You know
Who
what I mean?
directed you in that audition? Who are you yelling at right now?
I'm about to say.
You are currently yelling at
Your
somebody
coach.
for dictating you a line reading.
He's so bitter.
You can't.
I could have changed everything. I'm stuck in a room with y'all.
I mean, to
But no,
interrupt. Sounded like
Neel is so. Neel is so good, and he was so
so good.
likable.
Yes.
And fun and lighthearted, and but then when the moments were serious, you were like, you know, bought into the sincerity, his pain, you know, his fear, everything about it. So if this kid doesn't become a star, I'm going
please
to
tag
be
me in on this.
so pissed.
Yeah.
Please tag me in on this.
Unless the only reason this kid should not be a star is if he himself grows up and is like, I don't want to act. That's the only reason. Jerah,
Tag me in on this.
Drop.
It's so fun.
Take it away.
While watching this movie, I was so excited because the visuals were great, like everyone said.
Yeah.
Neel was great. And usually we watch these movies, and if it's a good movie, I start like stalking the actors in it.
Yeah.
So I started stalking Neel. And I'm like, oh, this movie's making $1 billion.
Sounds a little weird, by the way. I'm just gonna put it out there. He's a little kid.
All right, man. Don't why.
He was born in.
All right,
we get it. You were born in '95, but he was born in 2003. So there's a
big age.
What is happening right now? What is happening right now? I don't like this.
We know
no,
why.
what I'm saying is like I looked up Neel and I was like, oh, this dude. The movie's like even last weekend when I saw it, I was like, oh, almost made $1 billion. He's got to have another movie lined up, right? Got to. He doesn't. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I went back and looked up the kid from
The Room.
Looked up him. I'm gonna get to him last.
Oh,
but
God.
the kid from what was the movie we reviewed? The other movie with
Beast of No Nation.
Beast of No Nation. I was like, did he get a movie yet?
Yeah.
No. Mm-hmm. Then I went to the kid from The Room.
Oh,
and I was like,
no.
does the kid from The Room have another movie? That kid got not only has that kid has guest spots on TV already written for him, but he already has 2 roles. And I'm like, time out.
Interesting.
Time out.
That is interesting.
I'm like, first off, these 2 brown kids are great, right?
Yeah.
Everyone said how good they've done. My man almost made $1 billion.
Yeah.
$1 billion. He ain't got no movie role yet.
Like
It's not
how
even
much more
rumors.
approval,
but here's the
popular
thing.
approval do you need?
If you're gonna cast a little brown boy, then you need to cast grown brown people.
That's so true.
And so then what are we gonna do?
What does the world do?
There aren't any.
But it's so
Or
funny
that the stories have to be like specific, like culturally specific or something.
They don't.
So
Yeah.
that is the thing.
Like instantly watching this, when I watched it, I was like, man, this is so good. But for some reason, it was that I instantly had a negative thought in my head once it was done. I was like, man, this is so great. And after I sat,
kind
I
of
was
did
like,
too. Just cause.
I was like, wait, and like instantly I was like, something's not right. And then once I realized he didn't have a role, I was like,
I love how watching the movie you just had to feel like something.
when it got to the end, and I was like, man, this is a good movie. Yeah. And I was like, nah, man. I was like, nah, this is too good. There's no way this boy is going to get the clout and love he needs to get. Have we heard? Literally, think about how often you've seen the kid Tremblay. What's his name? Adam Tremblay from
Jacob Tremblay.
Jacob was everywhere. People were like tweeting Jacob from The Room. The kid from The Room. Like,
did you see that movie?
Not yet.
No, you know why? Because not that many people saw it.
But
you know how many people saw this movie? A freaking lot.
Yeah, but Jacob was great. My point is that like people became obsessed with him. Like,
no, Jacob was great.
Following his Twitter and stuff.
But so was what's the top?
Abraham.
Mm-hmm. And like he was great,
Abraham
but like what?
He was in Beast of No Nation.
Thank you.
My
guys.
man ain't got no love. So it just, instantly I was like, this is great, but screw Hollywood.
I know. I mean, well, because I don't know.
It just hurt my feelings.
But hold on. But
we don't. But we don't know the extraneous factors. We don't know.
Yeah, because
what the parents are think. You know what I mean? Like some parents push these children more than others, and some children are like,
give me a rule.
And also, he might be people might be talking.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
he probably is.
Yeah, I'm saying if it comes out, he gets like Steven Spielberg in this movie. God bless. But right now, the movie's been out for like a month and a half.
But right now,
like it's been out for a month and a half, and it's about to break a bill. The brother could have been.
That's a notable trend, like,
right?
Yeah,
you should have known. We would have known before the movie came out if he was like
you think about like Dakota Fanning. What's her name? Who's in the Neighbors movie now?
Chloe Moretz.
Like I'm just thinking, Abigail Breslin.
Yeah. When they were before the movies came out that they made them big, you already heard that they were like
Haley. You know, he had a couple things lined up.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
It's a weird thing to be a child actor.
It's
anyway, I imagine, but
sorry to bring down The Room. I just want to know.
No, it's great. It's great.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So
a lot of times, like, I mean, even going into auditions, I feel like I was talking about this with you, Jonathan, where you're like, you get a sense of what people like will make of you. Like they're like people just don't know what to do with brown people sometimes. Or like, I don't know, can we just put her in a role as like a receptionist or, or what, like a lead is like, can she be a lead? Like it feels a little.
The character's name is Charlotte, so.
Oh, brown people.
I mean, I guess we can like change the name to
what should we call it? What should we call it?
But
LaQuisha.
Yeah.
They love LaQuishas.
Then we can put expectations on it.
Exactly.
We call her LaQuisha instead of Charlotte.
That's the thing is like would Neel, who's amazing, have ever gotten a chance if
it wasn't Jungle Book?
Wasn't Jungle Book.
Right.
He is so. If you listen to him talk, you know he's so American.
The Jungle Book is an Indian story, and so they. I mean, thank God they did, because clearly sometimes they don't care.
Yeah.
But like they were like, we have to obviously get. It seems obvious. I say that, and now I'm like, I don't know.
No, it's not.
Sometimes it isn't obvious.
Right,
I guess.
right.
But they got an Indian. They specifically looked for an Indian actor and a child actor, so it's not gonna. It's gonna be a no name. And they found him. You know, would he have gotten that if they were making? You know what I mean, like.
The Room.
They're making The Room.
Ready Player One. You know what I mean? If they're making like another child's, but like the Golden Compass, like you know what I mean? Like these there's so many children.
I would like to think that the climate of things now are that maybe somebody would have like thought about it. Do you know what I mean? Like whether or not he would have gotten the role, I don't know. But like,
would they have even thought?
Maybe
about it?
Somebody would have gone.
Because like,
maybe.
What are you thinking?
Well, it's like, it's good to have an Indian actor, a kid actor, like own the story of like, yeah, this is, I don't know how, like his parents, like how culturally connected they are to like their Indian history or heritage. But like, yeah, represent the story of like your people. Yeah. Great. Right. It's like, I think that is an important thing.
It is an important thing for sure.
But who knows? I mean, he's like he seems so perfect for the role in terms of like his physicality. Yeah. He was like insane. He was so good.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really answer your question. It was more just to be like, I'm so glad they would have to think to cast an Indian kid actor. That would be crazy.
Right. No, that's not true. Literally goes in the shell.
I mean, let's talk about this because like, we touched on it, but. Here's the thing, like, it's a little different. Not really.
No, but here's the thing, though, I don't think that just because we have these examples where the opposite is true, I don't think that there aren't people out there that are going, we have to think outside the box with casting choices, right?
What does this think you have, James? What you got hope?
No, I have
faith in humans.
I mean, I don't know. I just there has to be someone out there.
So here's the thing. I think the Jungle Book
could be you.
The Jungle Book is a little bit different because it's very much tied in with the Indian culture. There's the words are the language is what is the language?
Hindi in the book?
Hindi is the language.
The national language?
No, like because like Baloo.
Oh, the names. They're probably like
mean
Sanskrit names.
I'm almost positive.
Yeah, they do.
They mean what the animal is.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
It's just American pronounces them incorrectly.
And we pronounce them incorrectly. Like actually, because our friend James Carr brings it up. Baloo is actually pronounced Balu. Balu.
That's my uncle's name.
Get out.
Really? Balu?
Yeah.
Oh,
but apparently it means bear.
Yeah, apparently it means bear. Like all the names.
I'm not sure, but I'm sure.
Shere Khan means king.
Well, Khan is king.
King.
I wonder what Sheer is.
Murder.
Yo, first off,
Murder King.
I know we ain't talking about Idris Elba, but bro,
we should have looked this stuff up.
Idris Elba, boy.
Okay, so let's. But this is where I wanted to. So this is where I wanted to go. This is where I wanted to go because.
He has his hands up, y'all. He's excited.
They had to cast Mowgli as an Indian because he's a little boy. It's connected to the Indian culture. But when it comes to the other roles, they're like they're animals. We can cast whoever we want.
Yeah.
Now, there are people of color in this movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There are also a lot of white people in this movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I think Jon Favreau was smart enough, and Disney too, because they're just a little bit ahead of the curve.
Oh yeah, Disney
especially with Star Wars and Marvel, they're getting there. You know, but I think Warner Brothers. I'm interested to see who's voicing everything in their movie. It's Warner Brothers, right? Who's doing the next one?
I don't even know who's doing another. It might be
because sometimes they do not care and they'll just put white people in every other role. And that's the thing for me for like Ghost in the Shell and like these other things where there's like, I mean, they don't have to be Asian. They don't have to be this and that. Like, so Bill Murray's in this, Scarlett Johansson, Christopher Walken, you know, and then we have Idris Elba, Lupita Nyong'o, and Ben Kingsley.
And Gus.
Juan Carlo Esposito.
Juan Carlo Esposito.
Hey, bro, don't call that man by his name. His name is Gus, man.
No, you're not calling him that.
Who was the...
Gus, if you ever watched Breaking Bad, one of the best bad guys to ever exist on television is Gus. Check it out.
He's in other stuff. He's in other movies too.
Great actor.
I think that's probably his most prominent role right now.
Yeah.
But who's
the voice of?
He was the voice of Akila. What did you say?
Aquila?
He's
the wolf.
The wolf, the leader.
The lead wolf.
Daddy Wolf.
Daddy Wolf. Lupita was the mother wolf.
Yes.
And Idris was Shere Khan. He was amazing.
Heartbreaking.
Yo,
Ben Kingsley was the Panther. Bagheera.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell who it was at first.
Yeah,
I thought it was Patrick Stewart.
Oh,
they
my
sound
boyfriend.
similar.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit, that would have been,
But he was great.
Yeah, he was so good.
But this is a good time to talk about, because Ben Kingsley, to me, is the most famous an actor of Indian descent. Because he's British, but...
Is he not? Is he straight up? Is he from... He's British? I think
he's British.
He is of Indian descent.
I'm almost...
Wow, guys, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No.
Sunita, how did you not know that?
Maybe I was hanging on to the fact that when he played Gandhi, I was like, how could you? Like, I was just hanging on to my anger instead of, like, fact checking.
How could they get this British guy?
His national... What is it?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, his father...
I'm so embarrassed.
He might be half.
His father, Rahimtullah
I really love that. I really love that you're going
trying,
for
man.
it.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, man.
Here, I'll give you a drum roll. Let me give you a drum roll.
Okay, good.
Hey, those drums are actually better than drums.
What? Hey, man. My drums are fantastic.
His father from his...
You want to say... This will say where his father is from?
You sounded a little bit
was a
like Jewish.
Kenyan-born
Oh, my God, stop.
I'm kidding at this point, right? Medical doctor of Indian descent.
Guys, this is...
Yeah.
I'm learning much.
Wait, before this moment, who was the most famous Indian actor in your head?
Wow.
There's a new woman on the block
is
right
this
now.
is this not a problem?
I think of... This is a problem. I always think... I mean, like, think of Bollywood actors. I don't think of, like...
Yeah, right now
I don't think of, like,
that's
Indian
on,
American actors.
Quantico, who's now starring in movies.
Yeah.
What is her name? She's in Quantico.
Priyanka Chopra?
Yes.
Yeah.
And like now she's
Chopra.
even the bad guy now in Baywatch.
Oh, that's
coming
amazing.
Out, The Rock's Baywatch. So she's
weird.
she's in movies now. She's beautiful.
I mean, come on.
She's like mega famous too
So
in
she's
India.
mega- So are you familiar with Bollywood?
Honestly, the same actors, like I watching movies at like my aunt's house or something, like or in the background, they're the same actors. Like they have an empire, and it's
funny.
like very familial, and so it's just like the same people.
How many are there? Like probably like there's like
I bet there are a lot more now, but I'm like I can think of like 5 actors that I was like, oh yeah, they're in that movie. Oh, in that movie, and that movie.
that movie.
Right. Any of them
but all fair skin. Like I don't remember.
Oh, really?
Thinking, I don't know any like maybe male actors.
That's interesting.
You know.
So that's the thing in the black community we talk about all the time. Like especially for females, they're always lighter skinned with the romantic interests.
Yeah.
Always.
And if they're like a drug addict or whatever or a prostitute, then they'll be dark skinned.
Yeah.
But if they're like the romantic lead, if they're the lead, they're light skinned.
Yeah. Like having fair skin is like a huge thing.
Yeah.
Status and like wealth and beauty, and there's like creams in the pharmacies that are like Fair and Lovely.
Get out of here.
Wow.
Make
Fair and Lovely?
Yeah.
In India?
Yeah.
What's the darker brown was called?
Disgusting.
Lighter skin is Fair and Lovely. What's the brown was called? Damn, do we get lotion and cream? I know, right? Murder and disgust. Oh, God. Well, I don't want this one.
That's crazy.
Where were you? Oh, you at...
But I was asking if
famous Indian actors.
Famous Indian actors. So... But you can only think of the Bollywood one.
That's so funny. Guys, I'm so embarrassed.
No,
can you cut that part?
It's not your fault.
That's
not knowing Ben Kingsley is of Indian
Ben
descent?
Kingsley. That's okay.
Yeah, but
he's fair skin and he's I think mixed. So it makes sense. Yeah. And to Dev Patel.
Oh, Dev.
Is he from Slumdog?
Slumdog. Frida Pinto.
And
Frida
probably
that's crazy. She was supposed to be huge, but
she's in Slumdog as well.
She's in Slumdog. She's a love interest.
But where else has she been in?
That's what I'm saying. She was supposed to be huge coming out of Slumdog.
I feel like she was in some indies or kind of like darker.
She's going to be in the other
stories.
Jungle Book.
Really?
I looked it up. She's in the other Jungle Book.
That's cool.
So are there humans in that other Jungle Book?
No, it's like they do have like an Indian lead as a kid, and they only have so far from what I saw on the page only 2 people of color, Frida Pinto and a guy I can't remember his name, but
In general, it's like an interesting nod to like let's tell an Indian story,
right?
Like bringing it into like cultural consciousness is like. Let's start with the Jungle Book.
Right, let's start with the Jungle Book.
Yeah, we know this one.
So, did you watch Disney movies growing up?
Yeah, and I saw the Jungle Book. I just like all I remember are the songs. I don't remember the story being so intense.
But did you have an affinity towards it? Because I feel like I don't know about you guys, but I had an affinity towards Aladdin when it first came out.
Ooh, Aladdin, boy.
Because he was brown. Like, it had he's Arab, but I was just like, Aladdin. Like, I wanted to be Aladdin.
Yeah.
And then when The Lion King came out, I liked The Lion King too, but I always liked Aladdin, the movie, the most because it was a person.
Yeah.
And he was brown.
I never thought about
Yeah,
it.
So I don't know.
That never.
I don't know. Like, did you?
The reason I liked Aladdin was because he had that vest.
I thought Aladdin was cool. And the hammer pants.
vest.
And
you were like
the hammer pants though.
He was like,
And the magic carpet.
and the songs,
And
bro.
the song, and he was just
yes,
do you
the movie
trust
is
me?
great.
His opening
trust
song, how smooth is that? He basically said, do you trust me? She didn't know him. He takes her hand and they jump off a building, bro. They jump off a building.
He was the diamond in the rough.
What? The diamond
Diamond
in
in
Oh
the
yeah,
rough.
I love the
He
way
opens
that
his.
starts.
I can tell you, I got the sing along DVD,
yeah, me
bro.
too.
Don't
I
get it
like
twisted.
Jungle Book too because Bare Necessities.
Yeah.
I Want to Be Like You. Great songs. Do you guys remember the Elephant song where they were like, "Keep it up, 2, 3, 4, put it up, 2, 3, 4."
Yeah,
I don't know.
Doesn't Ka have a song as well when Ka the snake hypnotized?
I think it's the
Yeah.
song they played at
They
the
played
end
it
of
in the credits.
They played it in the credits of the movie.
Like
Trust in me.
Oh, they played at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, they played it.
ScarJo doing her
Trust
thing.
Oh,
No, that was creepy.
was that Scarlett Johansson?
That was Scarlett.
singing
That was
the-
Scarlett
Her voice
Johansson.
was so perfect for
Yeah.
Goodness. Yeah.
It was so
She's
soothing.
got the lockdown on like fear seduction.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But can we also say how
Voiceover.
like this movie? Sunita, I think you mentioned it at the very beginning. It was so scary. Because you think about it, they kept the bruises and blood.
Yeah.
It was almost like watching.
Yeah.
It was almost like a
Yes.
video
Yeah.
game where like
Yo.
the body takes damage and you
Cut
see
by
it.
that tiger.
He was getting cut up so much, and then
Yeah.
he did one role where I think he was in Baloo's cave, and you saw him do a move, and his back was just like I was like, damn,
Yeah.
Mowgli.
And when he was being like, the monkeys were swinging him around
Right.
trees, and then he had
Yes.
all these like scratch marks
Yeah.
on him. That looked so painful. It is. That I mean, if it were,
They would throw him out
really
there
getting
in bushes.
slung around
The
by
movie is
monkeys.
really like a roller coaster in that way, where it's
Yeah.
like something happy will happen, and then like it'll get quiet for a second. You're like, oh, this isn't good. Like he's
There was
immediately
some
thrusted
real
into.
like I was on the edge of my seat at a couple points in this movie where I was just like, oh shoot, like the first scene where like what's the panther? I keep forgetting it.
Bagheera?
Bagheera was like, "You're gonna run for that quarry."
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And he was like, "What are you talking
no,
about?"
I'm
He's
not
like,
running.
"Hey, listen, shut up, shut your mouth."
And he keeps
Mowgli,
being loud. He was like,
"You're
no,
gonna run for that quarry
No,
immediately."
I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah,
Bagheera.
and he was so loud, and you're
he's like,
inside. You're like,
"What you talking about?
Yeah,
I don't
no.
even know." And then the
Stop,
tiger
you're
just like,
stop you.
and then, yo, that was so scary.
yeah.
He was just running as fast as he can, and
You
Bagheera's
can't
like, "I'm gonna."
outrun a tiger.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing.
cannot do it.
But see, that's the thing that was so cool about it was because he was like run immediately because I'm about to fight him.
Yeah.
And give
But
you some time.
I know myself. I cannot. I'm
Yeah.
a panther. I can't take a tiger on
Yeah.
for only so long.
Right.
You need to get a head start, and he gets a head start, and they're fighting for a little while, and then the tiger's like, bah!
and then
then Bagheera is out.
which is so
And
funny.
I
You
was
bring
like,
that up.
oh, and I saw it in the trailer, but I was still like, run,
Yeah.
run.
Like Shere Khan
Run, nigga,
was so.
I'm just picturing you in the theater screaming that out loud, and
Braylock.
children are like, "What?"
Braylock was that.
There ain't no children in my
Braylock was that
theater.
black dude yelling.
I saw it at 8:30 on a Saturday night, and it was 30% kids.
Oh, you mean the theater
There
where
was
you were at the same theater and I was at the same theater and you try to pretend like you ain't know nobody?
Jerah, I literally said we could sit together when I realized you were there, and you said nope.
Listen,
when I realized we were all in the same theater, I said, "Let's sit together," and you said, "Nope."
No. Hey, for the record, because I know the people at home are probably believing James. That is not accurate.
That is 100% accurate.
Not accurate.
Why would you?
Is that we realized when the movie was over, right? They were at the same theater, or like towards the end, and like, oh yeah, I'm here at the Astoria Theater too, and then it's like, oh, me and Kat are here, and I was like, cool, man, we should hang out. And then he's like,
this is a complete, it's a complete fabrication.
And then he's like, what do you mean? I was like, we're at the same theater, man. He says, that's cool. That's
okay,
it.
all right.
He deads me.
These are two different,
Let me just
really
pull up the
different
text
stories.
thread.
Yeah, I believe James the third. And if only so you could put away the text.
Anyway, you yelled, "Run, nigga, run!" in the street. That's what we got. We said all that to say.
Yeah, let that story circulate. Yeah, that's what I said. But no, it was it's awesome. But yeah, like. Anyway,
I love this.
Can we talk?
Performance,
Wait,
man.
I do have a question about the movie though. Like, I don't. Why do some animals? Why can some animals talk and some can't?
What do you mean in the movie?
Yeah, like the monkeys
some
talk.
of the monkeys can talk.
And he was like, "Do you speak a language?"
Yeah, he kept saying
that was so funny when he was like
yeah.
talking to that one monkey the first time. He's like, "Do you speak a?" Oh, it wasn't a monkey.
It's like
it was a little
flying squirrel or like
Right.
some kind of wombat or
Yeah,
something.
it was like, "Do you speak a language?" And it was like,
and it took his food. He got hustled.
My
think it sounded
girlfriend,
just like
my girlfriend
that.
talked about that after the movie, and the implication is now that like he had to learn and study the different languages.
like I thought, like it was because
deep.
he was in a different part of the jungle that he wasn't used
what I
to,
thought.
and it
Yeah.
was like the jungle is the world. When you leave your area, like
Right.
you can't speak the language that everybody's
But
speaking.
what about
now.
King Louis though? Because King Louis was the only monkey that.
But I think it's because King Louis was like a
This
master of
educated, yeah.
knowledge and everything. He was like he was collecting artifacts and gold and
First off, King
power.
Louis on the
Yeah.
road, which I read, is a gargantuan
Yeah.
or something like that.
That's
which
That's a real thing?
Is a real
thing that existed.
Oh, they are that big.
Disgusting.
They're
that existed
huge.
millions of years ago, or they actually thought that they actually think it might have even existed 100,000 years ago,
Oh wow.
So they don't know exactly what it looked
which
like,
isn't
but it's huge.
that long ago.
Yeah.
In
Right.
terms of history, and in fact, humans, it wouldn't have been humans, but like a type of human
might have existed
existed
at the same time
as
as
that big of
giant
big.
orangutan.
Yeah.
That was really
Because I
frightening.
remember in the beginning, I was like,
Yeah.
why is it so big? And also, he's like picking little monkeys out of it.
Yeah.
Do you remember when he got up for the first
he had to
time
pull- he had to
and
pull himself up?
ripped like fur off
Yes.
of his
Yeah.
ass? Like he just was like
It's
getting
like if you're
up and
a
just
hot dude, like sitting on you're sweating on like a couch and you get up and there's like this big print.
But my thing is, my man had to
was
use
stuck.
the top pillars to pull himself up. And next thing you know,
Yeah.
he hadn't stood. Basically, what you're saying is he hasn't stood up in weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe
when
longer
you're
than that.
that
And then
big, right?
but he gets outside the temple and just starts jumping and swinging.
Right,
Like,
right.
bro, where does agility come from, man?
yeah. That was
crazy.
a really powerful. That was a really powerful part of the movie for me because
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, animals can do anything if they need to like.
They could kill us in a
want
second.
something.
In a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, I'm not 100% sure how I felt about Christopher Walken being.
His mobster
Here's-
version.
Yeah.
Of,
It was very.
Yeah.
It was the one part of the movie that I was like, vroom.
Here's the
I'm
thing.
sitting here watching a movie. I was like thinking about like the people who are like, don't you think it would be funny if you had Christopher Walken?
1,000%.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought that exact thing. It was really cool, right? He's like cascaded in shadow, and he's like very mobster, But then he starts singing the song, and I realized, wait, this is like the show-stopping number of the Jungle Book.
It should have been
not
an
And
old
this is about to
jazz
be a
singer or something.
patter song. Exactly.
It should have been like an old black
Some
dude who
old.
used to like.
I wanted like Ben
Vereen.
Vereen. I wanted like Ben
Should have been Ben
Vereen.
Vereen.
To just like
That's
start. That's
amazing.
exactly what I wanted. But it wasn't that. And then the non-speaking monkeys couldn't do any backup.
Background
Yeah,
singing.
I was.
It was the only time I was disappointed. But to be fair, Christopher Walken was mad cool. Like.
Yeah, it was a little goofy too. That was. Yeah, I was thinking like we're in this like temple thing. It should be some old ass wise voice.
Yeah,
Like,
it should have been. It should have been.
I guess that mafioso
with-
thing was like
They
a
went with the
character
mafioso
trait,
thing,
but
and it was like, it just felt a little bit too
on the nose. I was like, I get it, but come on.
Yeah.
My boy Ben Vereen.
I know. Should have been Ben Vereen.
Well, Ben Vereen will be coming back to TV.
I 100%
soon.
agree.
He's going to be on Fox, guys. Check it out.
Really?
He's going to do Rocky Horror Picture Show. Saw the trailer today.
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
That's going to be a
Vereen.
television show. You guys know so much about
Random facts. Random facts.
So crazy.
I'm so behind.
And yet we still get yelled at.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't know enough.
We don't know enough. But
Yeah.
Can we talk about Neel real quick?
Yeah, we can.
I know we did, but it's just like, and I know you guys mentioned it. I know this story is set in the jungle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But I don't feel like this movie was like an Indian story per se. I feel like this was a story of just like a child trying to find himself. Mm-hmm. And my question is, do you guys think
there's no because was raised by animals, so there's no like actual Indian culture.
Yeah, like he doesn't know it. But my thing is, with this movie being so successful, right? Mm-hmm. And because the movie isn't steeped in like a particular culture, just a kid, for instance, like growing up,
written by
do you guys think
Indian
this
author?
movie will help like Indian actors like kind of like bridge that gap of, hey, we're just humans too?
Yes.
You think?
I was thinking that. I was thinking that the whole time. Was like, thank goodness. Like he's just a kid, there's like maybe some mannerisms that like seem familiar. It's like I think my uncle does that or something. Like, but no, like just like his wit, the humor. It was like very it was very modern American, and just like his strength. Like it's about this kid's strength, and I felt like it was really cool to have like an Indian actor or like the face or like the embodiment of that, like by an Indian kid,
right?
Where it's like he brought the jungle together, and it's like about peace and respect, and like the moral of the story is from like an Indian author, and this kid is like the face of it.
Do you think he should have had an accent at all? Like is that only because
right.
It's like
we bring that up
like
because
a British
our friend
one?
was our
just because
friend Archino like I think was a little bit annoyed that he had an American accent instead of an Indian accent, which I don't know. For me personally, I was like, but they're speaking in English, so
everyone.
And I feel like it could be problematic the other way, like if you have an Indian kid who's American,
right,
and then putting on a faux Indian accent. Though I guess they could say like, well, then find a kid who's Indian, but I don't know.
Right. It didn't bother me because it's like a Disney movie.
It's a Disney movie. It's like a movie made for.
And it's like the humor is like, why'd you say that?
Yeah.
Aw, come on.
Yeah, there's a lot of Americanisms in it too. Yeah. So I mean, but I guess I just wanted to go back to this idea because when you were growing up, did you ever like realize like, oh, I don't see myself represented a lot on movies? Did you watch movies?
Yeah.
And did you consume television?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I totally had like, I think I've been like super or like hypercritical of like female figures in movies, like growing up. But I remember I was thinking about this recently, like seeing Maya Rudolph on Saturday Night Live. I was like, oh my God. I didn't know that you're all I have. Right. You're like, I know it's not
so crazy.
It's not the same, but just like a brown woman on television in comedy. But
that to me sounds like exactly like what I was like. Oh, Aladdin. Like, he's not actually black, but I was just like, oh, he's brown. He's not white.
What brown female comedian do we have besides Maya Rudolph? She might.
At least like in that stage of my life when I was just like soaking up family,
now?
Network television.
Don't do this to us, man. We have people. We have Sunita.
I mean, but I'm saying like you're like right now on a drama, and I'm like if you're thinking like one of those like you're thinking like Amy Schumer like in a
brown
female comedian
like
Leslie
in
Jones. Movies. Oh, Leslie. Okay.
No, we have people, man. Damn it! Don't do this. No. I know, because now we're gonna get crap for not remembering
for making movies. I mean, movies right now.
We gotta think of people.
I mean, that are like leading in movies.
Yeah,
leading.
Leading. Yeah.
I mean,
leading now.
Leading. It's
that's easy. No.
Okay, yeah. But we're talking about specifically like, seeing yourself or seeing brown people represented on,
Yeah, it's still like a big deal or like a notable thing. But it is, I mean, it's changing. I do remember like growing up. It's not necessarily that I felt like it wouldn't be possible because I didn't see like a role model or like someone that looked like me. Yeah. I think you definitely need that growing up. I think you do.
Need it, right?
Yeah,
like you
absolutely.
And so for you, it was Maya Rudolph.
Yeah, and even though, and that's like one that I can think of. Yeah. But and I like watch movies before and after that, and television after that, before and after. But I just wanted to be the one to like tell the story too. I never thought of it being like, I don't know. Maybe I was so.
Did you recognize race? Like, 'cause I remember growing up, I didn't realize.
I think so.
I didn't like peep stuff. I remember just thinking like, "Oh, I loved Will Smith."
Yeah.
But I don't think until I got older I realized because he looked like me, like he was brown. Because it was like, oh, I still loved like Bruce Willis and stuff. I didn't like.
I'm with you in the sense that I recognize it in the things that I was watching because that was definitely forced upon me because like if you're playing Power Rangers, like John's the Black Ranger, like if I'm wrestling, like I'm gonna be the black wrestler, like I'm gonna be.
You get to be the Rock.
I get to be the no. See, we talked about this. Like I didn't get to be the Rock because the Rock was so popular that white people were like, "No, I get to be the Rock. You're K-Quick."
You got K-Quick.
Yeah, no.
Oh no, John.
You remember K-Quick?
I remember.
You're Booker T, John. You know what I mean?
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
These are black wrestlers who weren't as popular as all the other ones.
That's really funny.
But if I was like,
But
I'm
you got
Shawn
to be
Michaels, they're like,
inclusive.
no, you're not Shawn Michaels. You're black.
Yeah.
You can't be Shawn Michaels.
Oh man, bro,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, bro.
You're Blade.
that sucks.
There's no other superhero, dude. You're freaking Blade or you're Static Shock. You know what I mean? So it was like it's that kind of thing. But when I was thinking I'm going to be an actor, I wasn't thinking race is going to stop me from being an actor.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like that block didn't come until real life.
Yeah.
Like I didn't think
I might have like suppressed that as a kid. Like I might have just been like, well, I'll deal with that later.
Yeah, it's like
yeah. Also, like you see, as a kid or a younger person, you're like you only care about the lead, sort of, and then like when you look back and you see like, oh, that brown friend died. Shit, they killed the brown friend. Like, oh my god, that's awful. But you're not even like thinking about the supporting people. You're just like the lead. I want to be the lead.
Yeah.
And most of those stories are like.
Did you recognize the like Indian stereotypes that were being replayed? Like, The Simpsons is one of my favorite shows, and like, but Abu, was like considered. Yeah. I feel like people wrote it out there because The Simpsons is such a great show. It's just like Seinfeld. It was like there are color problems here, but like it's also so great that we kind of like sweep it under the rug a little bit. Like, did you recognize those things as like, oh, this feels problematic, or?
Yeah, I felt uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I remember feeling that way. Or like even is it an Office Space? There's like a few, I feel like there are a few.
Office Space.
There are a few characters and like they have accents. Or like Best Buy employees. I feel like there are some I have a random things.
And you're thinking of is Office Space and 40-Year Virgin.
And 40-Year Virgin.
There's two.
The dude is an Indian.
It's two of them.
He's older.
Like the shorter guy.
Are they both old?
No, well,
the one is the older one who has a foul mouth.
Yeah, and the other one,
but he has an accent. Yeah. And it was like, man, I really do hate stuff like that, and because they do it constantly. We talked about this actually with Asian like Chinese actors or even like Korean or Japanese, but like they'll have them have a very heavy accent and then do something that's like messed up, like, or they'll like curse or whatever, and it's like, haha, look at this funny foreigner cursing. Isn't that funny? Like the joke is just they have an accent
funny
and they're cursing at you.
Yeah, it's because that guy's an older Indian guy.
Joke.
That's literally the only joke. And he has a friend who's younger, but he's still like the same age as everyone else, who's always hanging out with him. And so it's two Indian guys who make fun of everybody. Like there's two, like literally there's two of them who make fun of everybody though.
And they're funny people, and like things that they are saying are funny, but like if they were like they're like, hey, I'm gonna do this without an accent, they'd be like, oh, but it's like funnier with the accent.
Yeah.
And it's like, why is it funnier with the accent?
Right.
Is it because you're making a like a lost in translation joke right now, or just because you think me talking like somebody who came from this place is funny?
Right. Well, that's like the classic. That's like laughing at and not laughing with, and that at least that's what it is, like the feeling of discomfort. It's like, no, you're laughing at him. Like I'm like watching people watch like an Indian character with an accent or something like that, and it's like, no, yeah, it is kind of funny, but no, don't laugh. And it's I don't see it as much, but I definitely was aware of the the discomfort.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Matter of fact, this is coming up in. I just saw a trailer for a movie today with one of the leads from Silicon Valley, the Pakistani actor in it, Kumar. Where he literally
Kamal.
Yeah, he literally has an accent. He literally has.
He has an accent in real life.
I know what I'm talking about. In this particular movie, they have him dressed as like a guru, and it's for some reason I gotta find it.
Wait, his new movie?
He's in a movie.
I know what you're talking about, where he has like he has a whip or whatever. He's doing something.
What movie is that? And he's
it's the Bad Moms.
Bad Moms.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so strange.
Yeah. I remember seeing that, being like,
he's so funny.
But he's like a masseuse or something. And he has like a really long ponytail in the trailer, and he's like doing all these like things, and then he's like naked at one point, and he's like whipping her with the hair and stuff. He does.
Is this like a big blockbuster? Did he get like a lot of money for doing that?
I mean, maybe it's going to be starring
Mila Kunis, and Christina Applegate, and
a couple of people. It's going to be great. Oh, Jada Pickett's in it.
Jada
Pickett's in it. Kristen Bell's in it. So I mean, he get a lot of looks.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's such an uncomfortable position to be in.
Exactly. Because I'm like, could he have done that without the accent? Not saying. No. I know he has. I know he has one, but I'm like, is that? Yeah.
He
just
that's
like
how he talks. Kamel's great though. I mean, Kamel's so super funny, and he's been in other movies and stuff too, where he's not playing an Indian type of character.
Yeah,
he's just an Indian person who's playing like a friend or something. He was in the 5-Year Engagement.
Oh, was he?
He is a recurring guest on Portlandia, right? As like the cell phone guy.
Oh, is he?
Maybe it's not recurring.
And he's so super funny on Silicon Valley. I love that.
Yeah,
that show's great.
He gets so many racist jokes though. They come at him some hard, but they always call it out because that guy's the other character is supposed to be racist.
Right.
This is so funny. It's relevant. I mean, I auditioned for his movie.
I did too.
For what?
You did?
For Bad Moms?
No, for Kumail's movie.
The Judd Apatow one I'm talking about.
He has a movie coming out?
It's an indie. It's Judd Apatow produced.
Yeah, and it's called... I know what it's called. Hold on. It's called The Big Sick.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
But it was... I auditioned as a Pakistani character with an accent, which was like... If it were anyone else... It would have been like,
you would have been like, I don't think so.
Yeah, but it's...
Yeah, do you ever get asked to do that? Have you ever been asked to do that before?
No, never. And this was like so particular.
I feel like we were talking about this.
Because, I mean, it's his...
Yeah.
It's like his personal experience. He's not writing...
Right, exactly.
...characters to be... It's not the joke it's not a joke. It's like his... life.
It's his stand-up career, right? It's his whole stand-up.
Yeah, this character, it is kind of autobiographical about his like.
Yeah, because he was born in Pakistan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the story is about. Is it okay if I talk about it?
Well, I mean, I could do it too because it's about like him. I mean, I don't. Maybe
I don't know. You're right.
Maybe not.
You're talking about auditioning from it, but is this movie...
Because it's not out or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know if I should talk about...
Yeah, maybe not.
But just that the role was... playing a role with an accent was like... I have such like strong feelings about that, but because it was like his movie...
Yeah, because it was his story and you felt it's in his hands.
Yeah.
It's gonna be.
Yeah,
totally.
and it's such a like... You'll never... I don't think you'll get that... More times than not, you'll get like, try with an accent.
Right.
Actually, that has happened to me once before in college. Like, I did like a comedy sketch show, and the director was like, "What if you did that bit with an accent?" And I was like, "No."
Is that what they say?
Did you say no?
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh."
I thought he was kidding, actually.
Oh.
So I like didn't even respond.
Good for you. But is that a thing? So that's the thing. Is like in accents. I know if you're black, sometimes they say like.
Well, they have that on Master of None. Remember that episode? Did you get to see that episode? There's an episode of Master of None where they're
Indians in TV is what it's called.
It's, what's his name? He's so funny too. The other guy.
Raj?
he always does commercials.
Yeah,
Raj Patel, is that his name?
I think it is Raj
Oh yeah,
Patel.
I think it is. Yeah.
A lot of Patels out here. In the and he's like, because Aziz is like, I'm not doing an accent. Like, I don't talk like that.
Yeah.
And Raj is like, whatever. I mean, freaking it's work.
Yeah.
And it's true. I remember because there was that. Do you remember that show Outsourced? Did you watch that show?
I didn't watch it.
Raj was on that show.
Raj was on that show.
Raj was
Raj
on that
really
show?
funny. So my friend who I went to NYU with, Anisha, I forget her last name.
Patel?
No, it's Patel. Yeah, Patel. It's not Patel, but yeah. But Anisha's incredible actress, super talented, and she got casted on that show. So I was like super excited for her, and I watched the show because I was like, and I wanted the show to do well because my friend was on it, and she's really funny. But I remember when the backlash, like, it was almost immediate, and so because I wasn't looking at it through that lens, I was looking at it through a lens of like, kind of like what Raj is talking about. I know my friend is an actor.
Yeah.
She's trying to make money. Hollywood doesn't give brown people that many roles. Like, here's a show where there are like, 20? Like, there are like literally 12 Indian actors, if not more, and others who get to be side characters because it's set in India. You're giving work to all of these actors. You know what I mean? Part of me is like, I'm okay with the problem for a little bit because they're trying to do this. But at the same time, I was just thinking about that for her because I was like, I want my friend to keep getting work.
Right.
When the show got canceled and I was stepping back and actually looking at it, I was like, why would they do this show? And also, there was still a white lead. Like, it was a guy, the main guy, it's about him, and the main butt of all of the jokes were like, look how weird Indian culture is. Kind of.
And how they were obsessed.
Not all of the jokes, but a lot. Yeah.
Was she? Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to ask if she was like conflicted about the part, or if you talked to her.
Yeah, I didn't really. That's the thing. I didn't talk. Like, I wasn't like coming at it from that. Like, I didn't really talk to her about like, does this feel weird to you? And I was almost. And I think she did. I think she must have blocked out a lot of that. And I'm sure they talked about it, like the cast.
Yeah.
Like, they had to have, right? They had to have had those discussions, like, are we selling ourselves out? Like, do we feel like...
But then what do you do? Was that her first pilot? Do you mind me asking?
Of course.
I mean, like, what do you... That's your first pilot.
Right.
Like,
her show, it went for a whole season.
Yeah, like, what do you...
She was a series regular on a television show on NBC. That's a huge deal for an actor.
You got it. It's just so tough.
You know what I mean? It's like, what are you going to say? You're like, yeah, I know, but, like, I have a job.
Yeah, totally.
What do you want? What are we supposed to do? Not do this? Like,
someone
be like,
else
I'll
will.
wait for work that isn't going to come? Has there been another show with an all-Indian cast?
Right.
No? Will there ever be?
Who knows?
There's a show coming out.
No, I'm like, for real. Like, Aziz is great, but it's not like his show is all Indian cast. Like, when are you going to get that again?
Right.
When are you going to get that opportunity?
Right. That was Mr. Robot a little bit for me, too. Because I was cast, I went in for the part of a boy nerd, and then I was cast and costumed in hijab.
Right.
So it was like, I just did not know that was going to happen. And, and it was I'm sure there's just like levels of communication that don't trickle down to me, and maybe it was like a plan. But my perspective of the whole thing is a brown woman went in, and then they put like a costume on me. And I was so conflicted because it was my first. Remember, it was my first part, and I just didn't know where the character was going because I thought it was one thing, and then I had no idea what the plan. Like, what did I just? What did I just sign up for?
Right.
That I didn't know that was going to happen. That was just like my first experience with like ethnic casting.
Yeah.
And that was
wasn't even in the breakdown or anything. You just
not to my knowledge. Wow. No, I just went in, and who knows? There's like, I feel like it's all strategy.
Did you talk about it with anybody?
Yeah, my agent was really receptive to all my concerns, and I was like freaking out because it is like, oh my god, this amazing thing. Yeah. I don't want it.
Yeah,
I don't want it.
Right.
What is this? This feels really principally. I was going through a lot of like, this is wrong. I don't believe in this.
Right.
it was Hollywood. It was like Hollywood, baby, or something. Like I didn't know, but he was like, my agent was really helpful, and he also like when I got there, like the news and was like, you know, informed about my costume fitting and all that stuff. He was like, I'll call, make sure they know that you're not Muslim. You have a Hindu background and you're from Tennessee. Like you don't, you're not like tied into the character, which is like always so important to remember. You are not the character. Exactly. You are not the character. It's just like so much of the time, like personal politics for me, or it's like, well, I'm not used to putting myself in a position that I don't 100% believe in or something, because like the comedy stuff we all do, or like making my own things, or stuff with Cocoon. It's just like
so great, so
integrated to like with my whole being, and then like having to do a job that I've never had to like figure the mechanics of that out for like the way I think about work.
Totally.
So that was really scary for me to be like.
So you didn't even know the costume until you got to the fitting? Is it that?
Yeah, it was like getting a call from the costumer who, you know, is just doesn't know. It's just her job. She has to schedule a fitting, and she's asking me to bring some items that would like help out if I had them, and she's listing off the items, and it's like full length skirts, like long sleeve turtlenecks, like harem pants, headscarves, wraps, and I'm just like, headscarves? What? Like and then I asked her like, oh, also I didn't know what like a maxi dress was, and she's like, she had to explain it's like a full length, you know, something that goes down to your ankle. So it's like I have no skin. I'm not, you know, I'm playing a conservative Muslim.
Yeah.
So that's one thing, you know, that's like, how does this make sense? Like, how does it make sense? Just because I didn't know anything about the show. But then I asked her, like, am I playing a Muslim character? And she was like, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And so just kind of like finished that conversation and was like, okay, let me call my agent really quick, and then call my agent. And he was like,
that's so crazy.
He was helpful. You know,
he's helpful.
Yeah, that's great.
He called, you know, to have like the buffer too of someone else. Just like, just want to give him props for
that's
that.
great.
It's that I'm glad.
That's a good rep, man.
But it's true. Like that's like and it's a representation problem, right? Like it wouldn't feel weird if brown actors were just being cast on the regular. And then you're like, great, like, I'm playing somebody of a different religion or whatever. But it's like, because you're like, okay, I'm the brown person on the show. And they're going to be like, all right, we have to make her look brown.
It's like these expectations all of a sudden when I've just, going into the room without them and then having them all of a sudden.
Right.
Also, like, it could have been like a kind of a white girl, you know, it could have been,
right, exactly.
It could have been anybody. It could have been a more experienced actor.
Right.
Like I got that part.
Right.
Like that's insane.
Right.
It's insane that I'm on the show. And it is like, let's show it without like talking about it too much.
Yeah.
But I just
it's
didn't,
true. You don't talk
I just
about
didn't
it
know that. Like going into it, I was like, wait, what is this?
Yeah.
So it's like, it is this opportunity that
exactly.
you're like, what am I going to say no to this? And I do feel like it has sprung up, you know, a lot of other things that I'm like really grateful for. And I'm so grateful to be on this show.
Listen, that show was, that's one of those things we were talking about earlier. It's like that show was changing the game. And it's like, I'm not saying you're like, if your character, if they did do something like crazy stereotypical, it's almost a thing of like, what do you do? The show has so much heat. It's like, do I do this thing to get work and like be on this hit? It's just like, questions.
You get nervous. You just get nervous.
You get nervous.
Because it's make or break for.
Because my friend,
feels make or break for like a brown person or something.
We'll have to have Rami on again. He was on the Hancock episode, but we didn't talk about because he is Muslim.
Yeah.
And he's Egyptian.
Yeah.
And,
Wait, you had Rami on your podcast?
Yeah.
That's so great. You did it. You had asked me about it, right?
What's that?
Didn't you ask me if We'll talk about it later.
Okay. Well, we had him on for the Hancock. We didn't have him on where, talking about Arabs in Hollywood and especially Muslims, because he has gotten casting breakdowns for terrorists, and he's like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of him for making that stand, but he's not doing it in a political thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's just I'm that's just not me, and I don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a part of you that's like, man, when these kind of roles happen, when people in 24 were getting cast left and right who are Arab actors,
mm-hmm.
but they always had to be a terrorist.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? What does that say? Even Syed in Lost, amazing, great, but he was an Iraqi soldier and knew how to do torture and did torture on Lost. There's just images that you
Where is he at, by the way? Because he was
I know, he's amazing.
Didn't
I don't
he?
know.
Totally.
Didn't he just have a show?
Did he?
Oh, did he?
I'm
sure. Yeah, you're right. He might still be on TV. Anyway, we stopped talking about the Jungle Book.
Oh my goodness.
But let's just go back. Maybe let's talk about our favorite moments from the movie. Right?
Cool.
Favorite moments, dude. I just want to say, I keep bringing them up, but it was so eerie. Shere Khan was so
yeah.
Just and Braylock, what you said, that tiger was so real to me. That moment Braylock talked about when he go visits Papa Wolf, and he it is such a villain move where he just gets on technically the wolf's throne, if you will,
mm-hmm.
and just slumps down and doesn't even look at him at first. He's looking out over everyone else as he talks to him, super calm
That scene was incredible, it was
tense.
CGI animals.
And I was nervous
so tense
because I was oh, he's gonna kill him.
Because the wolf was trying to act cool too, and you were
yeah,
you're is the wolf that cool?
Well, no, because at first
he's putting on a good face, but he was trying to be whoa, and because the other wolves were kind of creeping up, but what's up?
Because the first
we have
wolf,
to fight you?
He was tense at first. He was tense until Shere Khan sat down.
Yeah.
So then he sat down, and everyone, all the other wolves, kind of
they're okay
with an ease, and then Shere Khan just gets him and tosses him off the cliff.
There was no warning.
There was no warning for that.
There was no warning.
He's the king.
And the other wolves just didn't fight after that. They were oh, shoot.
Because what can you do? They made him... I find it very interesting that the king of this jungle, if you think about it, is a tiger and not a lion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's no lion.
There's no lion.
Yes, what I'm saying. There's no lion. So it's a tiger who's running the show. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, they make sure you know that Shere Khan is massive. Because there's a point...
Tigers are huge.
Yeah, and there's a point at the end of the movie where everyone's trying to fight Shere Khan, and you just see his size. Because there's 3 wolves attacking him, and he literally tosses them off.
Yeah.
I mean, he beat a bear.
Yeah.
He beat a bear.
The bear has
I thought he killed Baloo. I was oh, snap.
Oh, no, me too.
I thought they killed Baloo.
Oh, me too.
I thought Baloo was
did
dead.
too.
I was yo, he just killed Baloo.
And then just ran off. At every point, he didn't care about anybody else. He whipped their ass and then kept going after Mowgli. It was oh, man. Everything was Shere Khan, and I was I love, and he was so creepy because he kept talking about he told a story about when he was talking to what was the female wolf's name? Lapita's character.
Oh, Raksha.
Raksha. He's talking to her about the birds and how a bird what is it the peacock, not the peacock, the cuckoo bird. The cuckoo bird.
Oh, that scene was
the cuckoo
terrifying.
bird and someone else raising them, and I was oh snap!
Oh my god, that cuckoo bird monologue!
I was bro.
Yo, he was okay. So he says so basically he's talking to Raksha.
While he has the kids,
while she's looking over her pups who are kind of he has the pups, and he and then he lets all of them go except for one, and he stops it, and he's like yeah, the cuckoo bird. It's a smart mother because it'll take an animal that it'll take its egg and put it in another bird's nest, and so that other bird will feed only the cuckoo bird's offspring, and so its other offspring dies just because it's trying to feed this one that wasn't its own, and you're we know 100% what you're talking about.
100%.
And then you're is this dude about to kill this little wolf
I thought he was.
Is he about to kill this little wolf pup? And she's just looking at him because she can't do anything, and then he lets it go. And you're whoa.
And then he goes back to laying down.
Woo!
Like, at no point, he's so matter of fact in this whole movie. He's like, no, there's no worries. He's going to hear about what I did. He's going to come back. He says it like 2 or 3 times throughout the movie. He's like, he's going to come back.
That's what happens.
And he comes back. And he keeps saying the whole time, I told you so.
Yeah.
I told you this. Oh, that's the dumbest thing you could do. I told you he was going to start a fire. I was like, oh, and his voice? Yo.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Idris Elba. Idris Elba is now going to be in a Stephen King movie where the character has always been white, but now he is the lead. It's him and Matthew McConaughey. Yo.
That's amazing.
He's great.
He's so
Idris
good.
holding it down.
Holding it down.
I don't know. That was one of my favorite moments for sure.
The Cuckoo Bird?
No, yeah, that speech. Oh my God. And like when he tossed him.
Yo, he just tosses that one.
There's no warning.
The porcupine.
There is no warning.
There were some really funny moments in this movie too. Those like when they were trying to get the honey, and he was like, "Oh," and he's like, "What? Oh, he's at it again. Look at him." He's like, "Wait, that's what monkey did you get this time?" And he's like, "That's not a monkey. It's a man cub. A man cub." And then somebody else comes. It's like, "Hey, oh, he's at it again, huh?" Yeah, but it's not a monkey. What is it? It's a man cub. A man cub.
Yeah, so like routine. Like a
that was fun.
routine.
Wasn't one of those animals, I think one of those animals was the late Gary Shandling, right?
Yeah, I think you're right.
I don't know which one. Oh, wait.
Did anybody shed a tear?
Ooh, did you shed a tear?
I shed a tear.
What part?
When she, it's that first scene between the first time he's like, I'm gonna leave, and it's raining.
Yo, the rain was so good.
She's like looking at him, and it's like, you'll always be my son, or like, I don't know what
says, like,
her exact words are.
You are mine.
Yeah.
She's like,
yes.
Oh my God.
She's like, no matter however far you go,
even
you
between
are
humans.
mine.
Oh my God, that just it brings me to
you are
tears
mine
right
to
there.
me. She says, and you're like, oh.
And her voice like cracks. Oh, it's making me tear up now.
That was man.
That was great.
It's just that was very effective.
How about you, James?
A favorite part? No, I don't have one. I really liked in the ending sequence when they turn to the page and Shere Khan is on, and there's the like weird like rabbit like creatures are like giant.
Oh, right? Yeah.
And it like hops up, but Shere Khan is like what would be normal size in the book.
Yeah.
So he's like smaller than this giant rabbit, and he like kind of like pokes at his nose.
James is talking about the end credits. Like
the end credits.
There's like this great, it's like they were just showing off at that point. They're you just watch this whole movie with like some great animation. Now we're gonna do like this classic style, like this book opening and like animals popping out of the books and playing around, and you're just like, where do they get those real animals?
It's great. And I noticed, afterwards I watched, and I haven't seen the original Jungle Book in a long time, but afterwards I watched the Robin Hood, the animated Robin Hood.
I love the animated
And I
Robin Hood.
realized this is probably the same as the Jungle Book, but the book, like the animation of the book, is like the same animation that they used before.
Yeah.
Like they used the same, but now it's live action.
Well, Jerah?
I do have one.
Are you kidding me?
You have another one?
Yeah.
No, I have a swirl.
Oh, you have a. Oh,
So
you have
just
a
so you know,
swirl.
so we have this segment called the swirl.
How does he have a
Because
Honestly,
listen, hear me out. So we have this segment called the swirl because we realize that like most of the times when it's a person of color in the film, especially a male person of color, their love interest is never white. It could be white people in the movie, but they will be friends. They will be distant cousins, 15 times removed, but they will not hook up because it's weird for some reason to Hollywood. And in a movie, on TV, it's getting much better, but not in a movie. So there's a scene in this movie. The end of the scene.
So he's going to introduce a swirl into the movie, and there's music playing.
So, just so you know, just envision it with me. Just envision it.
Okay.
The end of the movie, Mowgli is heading Mowgli is headed to the Man Village, right?
Okay.
He's headed to the Man Village. Now, we've seen some people in the Man Village, but we don't know who's really there. The Man Village is diverse, right? The Man Village has people of all colors and races in that Man Village. When he gets to the entrance, next thing you know, it's kids playing. It's kids playing. He looks up, and it's a little blonde girl like, "Hey, who are you?" And he's like, "Mowgli." And then she's like, "Where's your parents?" He was like, "They're dead." And she's like, "Oh no, come with me." And then she grabs his hand, right? And it's that shot. It's that shot of the two hands coming together, and it squeezes ever so tightly.
What?
She smiles, he smiles.
Why is she in there?
Because she's a part of the town.
Okay.
It's a diverse town, Jonathan. Okay?
Great.
So she's a part of the town. And then she takes him, and then she goes to her parents, and she's like, look, he needs a place to live. And the parents go off to go make up a room, and she gives him a kiss on the cheek, and she says, welcome.
That swirl.
Is that not beautiful?
That
Did you
was a
not feel
beautiful moment.
Thank you. Is that not
I
beautiful?
think it's completely unnecessary.
Yeah,
You know what, Jonathan?
I'm glad that
but it's a
scene
good
wasn't
moment.
in the movie.
Yeah.
Do you first off, okay, do we not like joy here in this room? Do we not like seeing a young
love
child
joy.
who was his parents are dead, his adopted dad was tossed off a cliff.
Damn, son, he was.
Like this boy's went through some shit, okay? Cause someone greet him, show him a little love, and give him a kiss on the cheek.
All right.
You guys are evil. I
don't know.
Evil.
That just sort of seems off the point of
James, we already know you're not human, okay?
I'm a human
We
being.
know you're not human.
Okay. Yeah.
Why, he was like, why couldn't he have been like, but I'm looking for the red flower. I'm not going to go there.
No, you shut up. No.
No.
Wow.
Yo, first
That's
off,
worse than anything Gerard just did.
I didn't say anything.
No, you
I
said
didn't say
enough.
no.
You
Your
said
minds
enough.
Did it. Your minds did
yo,
it.
first off,
Yeah.
Our minds did it? Your mind did it first, though.
First off, to defend Braylock, I'm not on this side for the record. But when I first heard Red Flower, I was like, "Hey, man, what they talk about?" I was like, "Hey." But I'm not on Jonathan Braylock's side. Jonathan Braylock made that assumption.
I don't endorse the last 5 minutes. I don't endorse that at all.
I'm having a great
Braylock has been
time.
corrupted.
I'm glad.
We should move on. To the cost. Time for the cost.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
that's
do you
what it
not have anything, James?
No, he doesn't. Great.
I'm sorry. The movie Shark Tale. Can we just talk about that really quickly?
Shark Tale. What's Shark
Yeah,
Tale?
the movie Shark Tale. It
Don't know
takes
it.
place under the sea.
Didn't you do this already?
You're talking
I
about Will
don't think I
Smith's
have.
only animated film, Shark Tale.
Oh, okay.
But it's a movie. It's it's set. So
He tries to relate
We
Will
see
Smith
like
to
different
everything.
wildlife. There's different wildlife in that movie as well.
That's why you think this
Like
is
marine
related.
life?
and no, but we like
no
we like
humans.
see the. Are there no humans in it?
No, 'cause it's CGI.
No, what I mean is like, are there no humans at all? It doesn't matter. Is it good? The movie Shark Tale.
I've never
I
seen
feel like
it.
you gave up in the
don't know
middle
it.
of
I
that.
don't want to ever
No,
see
I
it.
just want to know if the movie. Have you seen
That's
it?
all you wanted to know?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen it?
No,
doesn't.
I haven't even. I'm just hearing about it.
Is this your first time learning about this
Wow.
movie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's
all
a
right.
Disney movie?
Where's Will Smith?
It's not
definitely-
Disney.
It's
And it's
definitely
not
not.
DreamWorks.
It is
either.
DreamWorks, I think, right?
Is it DreamWorks?
I don't know. It's
Ooh, with you.
nobody
Wait,
cares.
this is not new.
It's old.
No,
Oh,
it's
this is an old movie.
It's an old movie.
I've
It's
heard
super
about
old.
it.
It's,
You have.
Didn't see it.
Will Smith
But-
forgot it existed.
All right, let's move on, please. So now it's time for the cause. It's the final segment. Basically, we are going to rate this film, but not based on how well it was critically, but how much it helps the cause of more leading actors of color in Hollywood.
Great.
So we either give it a black fist, meaning it fully helped the cause, a white palm, meaning it was so-so, or nothing, meaning it didn't help the cause at all.
Okay. It's like so or it did. There's like no in between.
No, it's
Nothing.
either no. So is so. Nothing.
So-so
is
didn't
the
help.
in-between.
Okay.
Or you
Okay.
can give it nothing.
Some
meaning
people have
Yeah.
said in the past, it's a palm with a fist rising or something like that. Or like it's a fist. You know,
some people try to skirt the thing. It's like look,
No,
there's
no.
three.
It's
It's
a
like a
fist
3-star
palm.
thing.
It's like
I'm just
a
letting you
fist
know
palm.
in case
Fist palm.
in case you don't think it's one of those.
All right. So on the
things.
count of three, we're all going to throw it up.
Ooh,
What we
with
think it
you.
is.
It's just a visual. We don't say anything.
Well, and then we'll
say
tell.
that.
We'll tell
He
them
says 3, 2, 1, and then we do it. Yeah.
Oh, did you say
Okay.
3, 2, 1 or 1, 2, 3?
He says 3, 2, 1 every time.
Are you gonna say 3, 2? Okay.
I'm gonna. Now I want to say 1, 2, 3 just because.
Can I say it?
Great. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
Are you gonna say it right?
I'm gonna close my eyes.
I'm gonna start
I don't
with
know what's
3,
happening.
and I'm gonna go down to 1.
I actually
Okay.
technically do not know what I'm going to give it.
I know. I'm
We
Oh
have
no!
to
Well,
talk about
so
the cause of more leading actors of color. Okay, let's go.
yeah. All right.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah. It got four black fists. Even though Jonathan was kind of late on the uptake.
I was a little late, but I gave it a black fist.
I really liked Closing My Eyes.
Right?
It gives it a little moment, right?
It was like I had a physical, I had to respond.
You had to respond.
Just like,
It works.
Yeah.
Sometimes I've closed my eyes and then looked at everyone else.
I can start. Wait, do you want me to start?
Oh, yeah. I feel like you were on the fence, right?
Okay, yeah. I was only on the fence because I'm scared. I'm scared for Neel, man. I want Neel to be great. I want Neel to be good. And I want and I was also a little bit on the fence because I was like, yeah, you did it with the Jungle Book. Like now can you do it with a movie that isn't just particularly, about an Indian story? I mean, it's not an Indian story, but like, can you do it with a movie that isn't like tied to India in a way like America's minds are?
Do you mean can he do it, or do you mean can Hollywood do it?
Can Hollywood do it?
Yeah.
Does Hollywood want
because
to do
here's the thing, we didn't review Slumdog, but like those two actors, I mean, how much are they leading films?
You know
what I mean?
They're not leading any film.
I didn't see Chappie, but I'm just saying.
The robot is the lead. The robot is the lead.
Robot is the lead.
No, the robot is
the movie's called Chappie. It's not called the dude that made Chappie. It's not called that. Okay.
All right, fair enough.
The dude that made
right. He's the guy. He made him. Right.
All right. So, but that's all speculation. I gotta judge it based on the moment.
Yeah.
And on the moment, and in the movie, man, the movie was great. It made Neel. It had Neel shining.
Yeah.
shining.
Like this kid can do it all.
Do it all.
He's even acting with real people in front of him,
Make
like
believe.
or real sets.
Say it, brother.
What's he gonna do when he gets the real set?
Oh man, he might give you a damn single tear.
He's gonna make other child actors look like chump change.
You like,
man.
who are them other kids?
It's gonna be like Neel all day.
What? I ain't seen another kid yet.
Plus, we got Idris Elba.
Oh, Idris.
We got Lupita Nyong'o.
Woo, Lupita.
We got Juan Carlos Esposito.
Oh man, Gus. He said his name wrong. His name is Gus.
And
His name is Juan Carlo.
We got Ben Kingsley up in this joint.
Gandhi.
A night.
Gandhi, sir.
My
sir,
dude is a
You
night.
gotta call him sir.
So
We also had.
I gave it
other
a
people
fist.
as
All
well.
right.
Okay. I mean, what
Was that a tag team with me and
Should I go
Jerah?
real quick? No, Gerard.
I just got excited because you got excited, so I just wanted to join in.
Now I'm
was
going
good.
back and forth. Is it you said Juan Carlo? Is it Giancarlo?
His name is Gus, bro.
Just
Is it
keep
John?
speaking.
Okay, right. Okay, but Giancarlo. Okay, here we go. I gave it a fist. I mean, because, Neel is killing it out here. You know what I'm saying? He was by himself doing this.
You're right. It's Giancarlo.
doing this
Wait,
amazing.
how do you pronounce that?
I think it's Giancarlo.
Giancarlo.
Doing amazing acting. Like, just sort of like you, the whole time you were at the edge of your seat.
Crying.
You are crying. You're shedding tears. For this boy to go on his journey, like he does such a great job, and we talked about this before, but like it's set in India, right? And but the story is about. It's about what it means to be alive, right? Like it's about like
family.
It's about family. It's about the balance between humans and nature. It's a coming of age thing. Like he learns like I'm not a wolf. I'm a man, but this is how I can work and and that like just that in and of itself. Like I know because I was at a theater full of them. A ton of little kids of all different races saw this little boy, and they just saw a boy going through something, and and I think that like that because of that, like this movie is gonna if people don't start telling more stories with Indian actors in the lead because of this movie, it has still made people look and realize like, oh. This is a human being, It's not like this person who's put into this box.
Yes.
This is a human being. So, like, definitely fist.
Oh my goodness, you said it so well.
Oh, thank you.
That was beautiful. I also gave it a fist for this like similar reasons. The universality of the story, the passion, and the strength, and the like.
So much strength.
And just that. I think it's helping the cause because it is a little Indian kid. It is like a specific story, and it's been told, it's like maybe tried and true, sure, but it came from an Indian author, but it's still this like larger picture, larger story that is like, I'm so happy that this kid got to be the face of it. Wow. Killing it.
Killing it.
And all these themes, I think those are important to bring up. The human versus, human in nature, like that balance,
respect.
and finding your identity. Yeah, all that.
Yeah,
all that
totally.
good stuff.
Totally.
Friendship. I agree with everyone. So I'm a touch on something different. I'm thinking of dollars.
Yeah.
The excuse that Hollywood always makes is brown people don't make money.
Yeah.
Right? And it doesn't do well overseas. This movie, and I get that it has special effects, which so does the movies with white people, but yet they still give credit to
a bunch of movies got them special effects.
They still give credit to like the actors in it. This movie stars one human, which is a little Indian boy, and it's
Avatar
before
was all
it
about
leaves
special effects.
theaters, it is going to make $1 billion.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
$1 billion before it leaves the theater. And
that's
my thing
incredible.
is, to me at this point, is like
that's crazy.
You have no excuse no more, Hollywood. It's like straight up. You had Star Wars, black dude, leading actress. You got this movie, Indian kid. You had Captain America, a diverse cast. Boom, they're making money. What's next? Because now it's like, if your excuse is brown people and women don't make money, that's wrong.
Yeah.
We got proof now. Wrong. In the last 6 months, 4 movies came out, made you look dumb. So now what? If my boy Neel don't. By the time
if my boy Neel.
If by time, I'm going to say this on the podcast. If by the time this podcast airs, if my boy Neel. If Neel doesn't line up another movie where he is the lead, or at least, he need to be one of the leads. Okay, if not the lead, one of the leads. I am about to do something crazy.
Wait, Jerah,
no, James. No, James. It's too late. It's too late.
Jerah.
No, John. John.
Come on. There's no reason.
Jacob got movies, y'all.
Okay.
Jacob got movies.
But we was already talking about.
You shut up, James. You shut up.
But all he was trying to say is that.
Let me finish. If Neel does not get a role, okay, and I don't care if it's like, it's in the works. I need to go on Deadline. I need to go on Joe Blow and hear a rumor. I need to hear a rumor that Neel might be the star of, like, I don't know, a Steven Soderbergh film, okay? If I don't hear that,
that'd be dope.
I'm going to write the longest, meanest letter to Hollywood.
Okay, wait.
You're going to address it to
Hollywood.
To Hollywood.
This is an open letter to Hollywood.
To the city of...
To Hollywood.
The suburb of Hollywood.
This is a damn shame. Because my man from Piece of No Nation ain't got a role yet.
That's true.
Say it, James.
Yeah, what? I'm a co-sign that letter.
We got 2 letters.
I'm a co-sign that letter.
Wait, you're going to co-sign
I'm a co-sign it.
Wait, Sunita, would you co-sign this letter?
I would be honored to co-sign that letter. I will personally
look, guys,
go post it on the H in the Hollywood sign.
Post it on the H.
Wait a minute.
To Hollywood.
I'm a co-signer.
We co-signing the letter. We are co-signing the letter.
Y'all heard it. If my man Neel does not get a role
in a week, essentially, in a week from this moment,
he should already be having a role, okay? Unless it's his choice, it better be his choice.
Just so everybody knows, I'm gonna start writing mine right now because just the amount of time is so small.
All right, that was great.
I'm serious.
Great.
Yeah, I think you'll write a really good letter.
My man needs a role.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
He gave a Denzel single tear in this movie.
He killed it. He killed it.
So that was The Jungle Book. Sunita, do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Cocoon's got some shows.
Ooh, yeah.
We
have New York listeners.
We're on Joe and Griff's Holiday Spectacular at Union Hall.
Who's that? When's that?
Memorial Day. It's like
Memorial Day?
Sorry, it's the 31st.
The 31st.
That is
Tuesday the 31st.
The day, right? That's a Monday?
Monday is the holiday, but...
Okay.
Monday, 31st. What time?
Sorry, it shows Tuesday the 31st.
Oh, Tuesday.
8 p.m.?
8 p.m.
Y'all don't know.
Google it.
Can they
Can they go somewhere? Union Hall's website. Union Hall NYC, I think, is the website.
Social media tags or anything? You're not really doing that.
I don't really, but you can follow Cocoon Central Dance Team on things, Instagram, Facebook.
Boom.
At Cocoon Central.
Awesome.
Can you tell Lil Jon I said what's up?
I will personally tell him. You said.
Yeah, do you know in season 2?
It's his favorite song.
I love Turn Down.
You still like it?
Oh.
It's not old to you?
I mean,
you don't turn down?
No, I definitely still like it. It's not like my favorite song anymore, but that music video is one of the best music videos I've ever seen.
I'm too inside of the song.
I know.
Like I can't.
You're too in it.
Yeah, I like
the music
when
video
I hear
made
it. I'm
the
like
song for me though.
Yeah,
I mean, the music video
for me
nuts.
too.
And and then season 2 of. Do you know when that's coming out?
I assume it's the same air date as last season.
And what was that?
June 24th.
So that's
mid-June.
I saw the trailer today. The trailer came out.
Oh, so it probably says.
Man, I'm so excited.
Season 2 trailer came out today.
I'm pumped too.
Yeah.
I know I said I had a lot of feelings about it.
No, but that's natural.
But
no, it's
okay.
from
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Great. So go watch season 1 if you haven't seen it.
Catch up to Mr. Robot. It's gonna be dope.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
It will be. Thanks for having me. My face hurts from laughing. Oh my goodness. Yes, my pleasure. Hollywood City, right here.
Hollywood, writing that letter. Don't make me write that letter, Hollywood.
All right. We'll be back with our own plugs in a second. We'll see y'all. Bye.
Bye.
All right, it's time for some plugs. Great. So, Black Man Podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Black Man Podcast. BlackmanPodcast.com for some show dates and stuff like that. Listen, why haven't you rated and reviewed us on iTunes yet? It's kind of silly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that you listening right now haven't rated or reviewed us on iTunes.
And I get it. iTunes, it's a little bit hard to rate. I get it. Sometimes you do it and then it's like it says submit it, but then it feels like it never did and you don't know. But just try. Just do it for the try. And you're like, oh, but I have to go on like my computer. Hey, just go on that computer and do it. And then you're like, hey, I don't have iTunes. Man, just download iTunes and get an account.
So basically, stop making excuses.
All right.
Yeah, follow us on Spreaker, you know what I'm saying?
Spreaker, shout out.
Follow us on Spreaker.
You can follow me at John Braylock.
Smooth transition.
Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, John Braylock. Snap at me. But keep it professional. Goodness.
People snap. What they snapping you, bro?
Nah, I'm just kidding. People snap.
You said that as if you've gotten some questionable snaps.
Stuff.
No, I really haven't.
Got some questionable snaps?
No, I haven't got a questionable
Okay.
Oh, snap.
I mean, they only exist for a day, know what I'm saying? You can only watch them once and they gone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Freak.
you're making it real awkward right now.
Where are you looking?
Wait, I'm making it weird.
You're making it weird. I don't got... And that's it. You guys take over.
You can follow me, James Third Comedy, know what I'm saying? Twitter, know what I'm saying? Instagram, know what I'm saying?
Why does your voice change every
You know what I'm
time?
saying? I'm on Facebook, know what I'm saying? James Third Comedy, know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I don't know why.
Wait, I have a real plug. I have a real plug I forgot about.
Go ahead.
I was in this series called, I think it's called This Is How We Live or something like that.
Oh, the 80s
The
one.
Place We Live.
The Place We Live. Thank you.
Oh, my goodness, John.
I've seen
There's
the
a
post
web
about it.
series, The Place We Live, that came out. Betsy Kenny and Dara Katz created it. It's super funny. Go watch that. Check it out on my website, johnbraylock.com. All right.
Okay, cool. No, I'm saying my show.
done, man.
No, wait, no. I have to plug my solo show. Junior is in the Dead Parents Club Festival at the Tank. It's gonna, if you're in New York City, June 19th. It's a Sunday, 7 p.m. Tickets are $10.
All right, and you can follow me at Jerah Milligan on Twitter and Instagram, and Jerah M on Snapchat. Also, check out like my Twitter and Instagram and MTV News and MTV's just to see us doing correspondence work and stuff like that. It'd be fun. Yeah.
All right. And next week, we are reviewing the film, The Last Dragon.
Leroy!
He's the last dragon.
Why'd you I did Show Enough. Why didn't you just support me on Show Enough?
I'm sorry. I just thought we were all doing our
Who's the prettiest?
Show enough.
Who's the baddest?
Show enough.
Who's the low-down mofo in this town?
Show enough. He's the last dragon.
That's not the right part.
All right. We'll see you next week. Go watch The Last Dragon. Bye-bye.
That was a HeadGum podcast.